Check, 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 check. Oh. It's fine evening, guys. Welcome to another HOR Season 12. We are at round 14 for the Austrian Sprint and Feature race. Short qualifying and then 12 laps and then 36. The sprint of 12 laps grid will form the feature race, which is shortly after. We did miss Monday. Evening, Chris. From Aberdeen as well. Wow. How is your trip going? It's a sprint. Yeah, it's a sprint. Oh, that's Discord. That's not here. Thank you, Home of Racing. That might be either Chris or Adam, possibly Jensen. It'll be someone anyway from the admin. We'll go through the table. I know Jensen finishing second last race really did creep him up onto Med's lead. I think he's only 2 points behind. We don't have any rain for qualifying as of yet, which is good. I'll flick to Jensen. He's usually coming out first. Standings. Yeah, Med TC's on 300 now, finishing. I think he finished 8th. Yeah, he did at 8th at USA. Jensen is 2 points behind on 296. Then David Enchu's still in third on 220. He's got a pretty big buffer though, back to Mr. Rage of 172. Zero's on 161. Smalley's on 148 in 6th place. Only finished one of the last 3 races. I'm not sure he was here, so it'll be interesting to see where he can get in these, because last time out, obviously, Jensen made a mistake and Tom ran away with it. Tom is not here tonight. Marnix is, though. I remember Marnix from a couple of races early on this season, I believe. He had some decent pace. I'm not sure if he actually got a pole in one of the races this season. One of the AlphaTauris is out. Is that Zero will be first to do a lap? Yeah, it looks like it. Do an audio check onto the car in a minute, just before this lap starts. See how he gets on through this first sector anyway. It's only a corner, but you can probably lose a couple of tenths. Did look alright. He didn't run wide, which was pretty good as well. Turn 2 looked decent as well. You can lose a lot of traction coming out of that corner, so down the hill into the right hander looks slightly wide. I don't know if he would have lost a little bit of time there. .45 dead going through sector 2. I'm not actually sure which is the car behind him, if it's Chris Sachs or Macho. We will flip to them straight after. Second from last corner is pretty decent as well. You can run very wide there. 104? Yeah, 104.8 to start with. Pretty decent lap. That will be Macho finishing his lap. 44.9 coming through sector 2, so 104.6 from Macho. Found a couple of tenths on Zero there. Is that Smalley coming to the end of his lap? He's an uninvalidated. Marnix has just started his. Matteo is new that I know of. I haven't seen him on here before. Chris Sachs finishing his lap as well. 106.7. Third lap on the board as well. He's about 2 seconds behind the pace at the moment. Try and find someone who's Jensen isn't on that. 44.8 going through sector 2. On the same type of time as Macho here, but a 104.4, just under a 104.5. Good lap from Jensen there. He'll be pretty happy with that. Nick's on an invalidated lap. We'll sit on with Marnik, see how he's getting on. Chris, no, Mr. Ray's there, 104.8, so he's done the same time as Zero there as well. Good lap from them, from Mr. Ray's there. Chubby Slugger, 105.2. I would think most of these times would be within a second, I would think. Or definitely within a second and a half. Can do a pretty slow lap though from Marnix to start with, 109.7. Chris is coming into second from the last corner. 45 dead through sector 2, so he's only a couple of tenths. He's actually on an invalidated lap. It would have been a 104.9, so he would have been 5th. MedTC's on an invalidated lap as well. Try and find someone who's actually on a lap here. Mr. Rage was down in the pits early. So there's a Chubby Slug behind the Red Bull there as well. I don't know if that's Meds. No, Meds just possibly started a lap here. We'll keep on with him, see how he gets on. I think that might be a little bit better for the audio. The Macho coming into the last sector. Run wide at second last corner. Might have did let him off actually, so see what type of time he can put up. 104.6, he goes second. Thousandth in front of Macho there, who's third and on an out lap. Yeah, it's fine on audio, I don't need to worry about that. Anyway, MedTC goes second at the moment. I think Macho was starting a lap. No, he wasn't. He's on a minute 30 in sector 2. Pelly started a lap, it looks like. Unless he's just finished one. He's done a 105.1 anyway. Nick's moved up to into 6th there with a 105.0. Smalley is... We'll sit on with Smalley. He's just about to start a lap, it looks like. It's a very short lap round here, so it's not easy to get many full laps in when pretty much everyone's on the track. A lap of a 104.6, that's interesting. Yeah, evening Chris, I thought it was going to be one of you. You want to keep a lookout for your penalties tonight. I know Austria is a track where you can pick up quite a few, especially turn 1 and 2, possibly. Smalley, I believe he lost a bit of time there coming out of turn 2. He didn't get full traction there and it pulled him to the right, so probably a couple of tenths lost there. Through second sector though, he's probably a 44.8. So at the moment he looks like he's going to put this on pole if he can maintain the speed going through these last couple of corners. Looks like the last one alright as well. So 104.622, he's gone third. Macho's just improved actually as well to a 104.5. So those two improving into the top 3 at the moment. In fact, Macho's only 7 thousandths off of Jensen's time now. I believe Jensen is actually on the lap. He's on an invalidated lap. We'll sit on with Zero, see how he's getting on through sector 2. I think he's actually backed off. Is that Christian and Merck, second last corner. I think he's just going on to a lap actually. He's had a lot of pace in quali this season. Last couple he's been top 5, so probably see him in a 104 here at least. I mean, 104 is going all the way down to Mr. Raging 6 at the moment, so he'll probably want a 104.6. There's a fastest lap from Marnix there. Another 10th off Jensen, a 104.3. It's a good lap from him. I would think most of these guys are going to get into a 104, 105. Kristaps will definitely improve his time. I think he's just behind Chris actually, yes he is. Chooses not to take curb on that left-hander. Some have that I've seen. 44.9 from Chris. Pretty decent lap on par with Smallies here, so he'll probably be in a 104.6. If you can get it down to a 104.5, that would be a good effort. It'll be in front of those guys slightly. It's going to be a 104.7. He's just sitting behind him in 6th at the moment, just in front of Zero. I think was that Kristaps on the last corner? I think he's just crashed. Yeah, he has. Zero's 2 tenths up though, so he might push himself in front of Med TC here. He only, slightly just missed out by 100th. He lost a little bit of time in sector 3 there. So he's not going, he's moved up to 6th though, just in front of Chris. Mr. Rage is boxing again. Pelly did very well last week. He'll want to try and keep his little run of good form going. I think he qualified 6th out in USA, but he finished 4th on the road. Or he jumped up a couple of places because of penalties, but he did very, very well to hold on to some of the faster guys. And he's going around there through sector 2. Just lost traction coming out of the corner. Matman's gone round as well. He's going to have to do a full lap. No, I don't think either of them got wing damage there. Kristaps is on an invalidated lap. Jensen's just started one. We'll keep on with him. See if he can put himself back in front of Marnix there. Back on first. He's only 2 points behind Med TC now, so there are, I think, 10 points, maybe 15 in this league up for grabs. We will go through the points after this. Is Jensen backed out of his lap? Yes, he has. Med TC's on a lap, I believe, though. It's very nice there. That right-hander can be a bit tough, but middle of that, well, the end of sector 2 there looked pretty decent from Med. I didn't actually see how far his time was up, but even if he's found a 10th, he's going to move up maybe in front of Jensen. He finds a couple. So 104.5, he's moved to 4th, so he found just over a 10th, moved him up a place. Yeah, 2 places actually to 4th. I think Jensen will be starting a lap now. Yeah, he is. Maybe he didn't like the way he took turn 1 and 2 and need a bit more fuel in the car. Marnix still being in first, I think it helps Med because that stops Jensen getting as many points. There are a few cars through sector 2 here. I don't know if they're not on laps. They've all got out Jensen's way pretty well there. Took a bit of curb on that left-hander. Needs to find a 10th here if he wants to put it back on pole. Looks very good for that last couple of corners though. It's going to be a 104.4, 104.2. Found 2 tenths there. Puts himself back on pole. Smalley's a 10th up, well, half a 10th up through sector 1 here. 1:04.2. That's pretty decent time from Jensen. There's 4.5 minutes left. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Marnix has just come back out on track as well. I'm pretty sure a couple of these guys will be able to knock at least 2 or 3 tenths off. They might get close to that. Still waiting for Charlie though and David Entry to put in their first lap. A 1:04.3 there from Smalley, so he's only half a tenth off of Jensen there, putting it in second. Track's probably ramping up, but he's had a lot of pace as well this season, some of these guys, so it'd be interesting to see how well, he'll have enough time for another lap, probably. See how Kristaps gets on now. Mateo's on an invalidated lap, so he won't be improving this time round. Marnix, I believe, just started a lap. Kristaps has backed out of his. He was a tenth and a half. He was a tenth and a half down. Marnix is probably going to get a tow from his teammate here. Mateo just did finish a lap. I don't know if he's got any ERS for another one. But Marnix here is getting a very, very nice tow through sector 2 there. Oh, and his teammate maybe wasn't giving him a tow. I don't think he was actually giving him a tow. Through sector 2, through sector 1, he was only half a tenth down, so he might have been going for another lap, which is unlucky for Marnix. I mean, if he's got enough fuel, he'll have enough time for another lap, but it definitely ruined that lap. Macho's in 4th at the moment on a 1:04.5. Needs to find a couple of tenths. It's not easy to find time around here. Obviously, when the track ramps up through qualifying, you get a lot more grip from the track, but with such a short lap and very few corners, it's not very easy. Jensen's back out on another out lap as well. I think he wants to try and cement that first place. 2 minutes left of qualifying. The only person who's not out on the track actually is Pele. Smalley's retired. Don't know if that was in the pits, so I think it was in the pits. Macho's gone very wide there. It didn't allow him that. Did not allow him there. There's a Haas around there. That wasn't Jensen, was it? Starting his lap. No, Jensen's just about to start his lap. Try and find some people who are coming to finish there. One of the Ferraris is that Mateo again trying for another lap? No. Marnix isn't up fully, he's gone massively wide, and that might do this and the next lap, depending. Nacho's slowing down to let some people pass. That was Jensen going through, who I believe is on a lap. I was trying to find someone else. I think Charlie's coming to the end of his lap. Evening flashback. Evening. Charlie there, 1:09.8. Unless he's probably just about to go on to a lap. David Entry's on an invalidated lap. Is he going to be last? Because he's not. He might be able to get round actually. It's a very short lap. He's got 45 seconds to get through sector 2. He might have another chance here. I think all these guys are waiting to start a lap. Jensen's on an invalidated lap, so he's not going to improve. Ned's down by quite a lot. Macho's on an invalidated lap as well. We'll stick with Mr. Rage, seeing as he's 3.5 tenths up through sector 1. Oh, maybe not. Cameron's there. Hi, Jim. How are you, buddy? Hope you're well. Hope Cameron's doing well as well. I think we've only got about 4 or 5. Maybe 5 races left after this sprint and feature, and then I think some of the admin might look into the crossplay for next season, which will be pretty decent as well. Definitely scare some of these guys when Cameron comes back. Mr. Rage isn't going to finish the lap here. Pelly's up by a tenth through sector 2 at the moment. He found 4 at the end, and he is 9th. He's put himself 9th with a 104.7. Jensen's still on lap. We'll stick with Jensen. He might want to finish this. He is a 10th up, actually. Can he get into a 103? No, 104.1. Another 10th found there. So he's 2 tenths up on Smalley, though. He's put it in second. Marnix obviously couldn't improve on his lap. Chubby Slug's coming to the line as 10th. No, he's not. He's not going to improve either. That is qualifying done. We've got 12 laps coming up for a sprint, which is going to be pretty fast going, I think. I mean, if a lap is about 110 here with fuel, possibly, you're only looking at about a 15-minute race. F3PC. Oh, that's pretty decent. Yeah, getting promoted is good. Anyway, Jensen's on pole with a 104.1. That's a good, very good lap from him. Smalley was second there. Marnix is third. MedTC's fourth. Macho's fifth. Mr. Rage is sixth. Chris was 7th in the end. I think that was his only lap as well, which is pretty decent. I think he did that last week as well. Zero's in 8th. Pelly's in 9th. Got a lap in there in the 104s in the end as well. Nick is 10th. Chubby Slug 11th. Charlie is 12th. Christop's 13th. Matteo is 14th. And David Enchu is 15th. There might be a formation lap. There might not. If there isn't, I would try and flick everything up as soon as possible for you guys. And before this starts, I will just find out points for sprint race. Yeah, first will get 15, second gets 12, third gets 10, then 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down to 10. So anyone in the top 10 will get points here for the first race. MedTC really has to finish behind. Well, if he needs to finish in front of Jensen somehow here. If he finishes behind, he's going to be losing the 2-point lead, and there'll be level points. I don't know if this class, it probably does class as a pole as well, so Jensen's actually only 1 point behind. We'll see where Meg can get. He's on the second row, so he's not too far behind. With a bit of the old slipstream going down to turns 1, well, not turn 1 really off the start, but turn 2 and to the bottom of the hill at 3. He might even be able to get past. I remember last week Jensen had a pretty bad start. He lost a couple of places, maybe one actually to Macho. So we'll see how he gets on this week. It is sunny, which is decent. That means that it probably won't rain within the next 15 minutes around here. Might see a little bit in the race. Makes it interesting, at least, for a little while. Seems most people are happy anyway. We're readying up, so... Shame I can't, well, not see weather, but see a few things. I think a lot of people should just go mediums here. You might get the 1 starting on softs. We are starting though. 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're away. And I think everyone got off pretty much at the same time. We'll go down to turn 1 here. Jensen stayed in front of Smalley, but he's gone wide. Marnix has shut up the inside. There is a car around. That is MedTC's going around. That's not going to help him at the start of this race. They're going about 3 or 4 wide, I think, back there as well. Further back to Charlie and Pelly. Charlie's going to come up the inside, going into turn 2. No one got in front of Jensen there. He managed to keep his thing. There's a 5-second penalty for corner cut for both Chris and Pelly there. I'm not sure how far they went off the track, but usually you get a 3. That was Pelly coming up behind Nick there. Bit of action further back. I don't know actually. Everything, apart from the couple of cars that went round, everyone's on mediums. I thought they would be. Chris and Pelly probably can get them removed if they don't have to pit. There is a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I think that might be Matteo, possibly. No, it's not. I don't know which one of them was far back, but Marnix moved up one place anyway after the first lap already. It's very quick. Jensen stayed where he was. Marnix is right behind him. Smalley lost that place off the start. Macho's moved up one. Someone's going around there. It's Pelly. He's DNF. Try and find his car somewhere. Is that a safety car? No, it's just a VSC that I can see. I can't see any yellow dot coming out the pit. So Marnix probably would have got past Jensen going down that straight. I'm not sure. So it saved him for now. Macho moved up one as well. Zero's up 3 off the start. He had a pretty decent start going through that first lap. Chris, well, actually, I don't think they will get their 5-second penalties removed, possibly because it's going to change. Well, it'll mess up the formation for the next race, possibly. Pelly's out, so he'll be starting at the back. Nick moved up 3 as well. He did very well. He's moved up 3 into 7th. Charlie's up 4. David Enchu's already up 6th from the back. Must have had a pretty good start there. I don't think it helped that Med went round. Maybe a couple of cars had some contact. There's no yellow. Well, no, it's fine. It's still going on though. It's been a lap. Chubby Slug's up 1 place. That's a good start from him. Chris Dutz is up 2. Mateo's up 2 as well. Med TC's lost 9. He went round at turn 2 there, and Rage has boxed. And we're back, and DRS is enabled, and Marnix is back within 0.2 of Jensen, so it's going to be interesting going down here with DRS to see if anyone else can make a move. There will be a massive train, I think, for for most of this race. There's only 9 laps left. Smalley looked like he almost outbroke himself there and had to shoot off the track a little bit, but oh yeah, like I said, most of these probably will keep within a second. I know Zero's on the limit already, but they probably will. Chris Datchins is already 3.3 behind, but I think he got caught up in that mess on the first lap. If Zero does fall out of DRS though, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Jensen saved his battery pretty well though throughout that yellow flag. He's got at least about 10-15% more than Marnix at the moment. Zero's down on 30. I think he's struggling to keep up with these guys. He's got DRS, but he's lost a 10.5 there down that straight. Macho, they're very close to the back of Smalley. Yeah, there's a big gap back to Chris Dutz. I think everyone in this top 10 pretty much. Oh, there's a yellow flag. That's one of the Red Bulls. Is that Med TC? Yeah, he's had another issue as well. It's very, very hard in a sprint to catch back up as well, especially with only 12 laps. There's 8 left now, and he'll just want to focus on the next race, I think. 36 laps of this next up is quite a bit. So Marnix, Smalley and Jensen all changing fastest lap there. Smalley a 106.5. Keeping up with these two pretty decently as well. Macho's not too far back. He's caught back up. His battery is a lot lower than the others though. Chris is doing decent as well. He's got that penalty which probably will hinder him a few places. You can see there's another 4 cars right behind him at the moment. But I don't know how much off track he went. It's not. Mr. Rage on the soft there, he changed tyre, 105.5. 18 seconds back, he'll probably get far. I'm not sure if he'll get fastest lap point in the sprint here. Jensen's pretty much got full battery though. Marnix is down on 67. You've got Smalley down on 65 as well. He's got Macho all over the back of him. Macho's down on 50. Zero's down to 20 already. We're not even halfway through this race. 27 from Chris as well. Charlie's doing very well. He has lost the DRS on Chris, but he has got a lot more battery than the guys in front of him. He just needs to be a bit careful about Nick and David Enchu and Chubby Slug, because they've got decent battery as well down here. Marnix might be making a move for the lead here. He's just going to back off. He was slightly too far behind. Almost side by side would have helped. Has had a little wobble coming out that corner, which has allowed Jensen to get back away. I think Smalley might be able to make a move here. No, he almost went to look up the inside, but he wasn't close enough either. Everyone's very close together still. Like I said, there's only that gap to Charlie, which has dropped out the DRS there, which is... Oh, in fact, I think Charlie's just gone round. I just looked back on Chris's screen there and saw a car flying round, so that's Charlie. He's going to come back out in 10th, and there's Chubby Slug round as well. Chubby Slug's had an issue. That's definitely brought Med back. Med could get a couple of points here if he keeps pushing. He's only about 3 or 4. He's about 3 seconds behind Charlie now with 5 laps left. Charlie's just going round, so his tyres aren't going to be brilliant either. In fact, Charlie's just retired. I think that's in the pit, so he's going to start 14th out of this. Med's now up to 11th. He's right behind Kristaps, so he's definitely going to get a point out of this. Mr. Rage 3-second time penalty. I think that's the first for corner cuts, apart from Chris and Pelly's. There's a safety car coming out. I can see that now. There's a yellow... That Mateo's going around. Mateo's going around, and his car literally is in the middle of the track, coming out of turn 1. That's unlucky for Charlie because, I mean, he retires in 12th, but Mr. Rage was 30 seconds behind. He's on softs already. He's going to catch back up. Most of these should pit. I don't know if Mr. Rage will again because I don't know how many soft tyres. He won't be using softs, I don't think, for the main race, so he could probably stay out. No one I can see is boxed, apart from David Enchu. He's flicked in the pits. So is Chubby Slug behind him. They are nearer to the back, so it's probably wise. I mean, David Enchu was 8th, so he's only going to lose out on 1 place here to Kristaps, and he's going to be on a fresh, soft tyre. Yeah, David Enchu's on the soft tyre here. There will probably be 3 laps left, 3 laps of racing, so we will get a lap of DRS as well. Those soft compound tyres will come into play. David Enchu's down in 9th, Chubby Slug 10th, Med TC's got them on as well in 11th, and Mr. Rage in 12th. He has got that 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help Chris, because I can see Nick, Kristaps, probably David Enchu and Chubby Slug. I can see all of them sticking with him for the last 2 laps. It's not going to be easy to get away, and he's going to lose out on 6 positions. Like I said, though, I don't know how much of that corner he cut. I wasn't on, so I don't know. It won't help his placement position for the next race, but I mean, he might be able to get them off if it was a bit funny. It gives him about 8 points, I think, for 6th, maybe 6. We will have another lap of this safety car. Mr. Rage, even if he boxes, which he is, he's going early, which is very good from him. That's the 3rd time I've seen him do that, actually. Moves over very early to the right to indicate that he's going in. David Enchu's also... No, Mr. Rage just shot past all of them. He's gone in. So it will probably come in next lap. I would think he'd catch back up. It is a slow lap, though. I mean, Chris probably could have got rid of his 5-second penalty. If he had boxed, he would have only have lost out to Nick, because Kristaps was a long way behind, so... But I mean, if he had boxed, then he probably couldn't... He wouldn't have been able to get rid of it. Mr. Rage will catch back up before Sector 3. Pretty much back on him now anyway. So the 4 at the back all on fresh softs. 8 at the front all on 8 lap old mediums. Will be 9 after this lap, but with only 3 laps left. Jensen ain't going to get away. I can see Marnik probably might have been able to get past him lap 2 before that virtual came out. Depending on where Jensen goes as well. Might go out the last corner, might go out the second from last corner. He's trying to let the safety car go. hopefully all these guys will get good starts and we'll have 3 brilliant laps right at the end here. It'll be very hard for people to overtake though. They're going to have to potentially wait for a mistake or a bit of DRS. Jensen has gone. He's done very well actually. He's already 6.5 tenths, 7.5, 8.5, 8 tenths in front of Marnix, who almost lost it coming out the last corner. So that's gone up to 9.5. Obviously, with all their energy, I think Jensen's already pulled out the second gap. If he can try and maintain that for this lap, Marnix will not have it for. Marnix is coming under a lot of pressure from Smalley actually. Smalley's going to try and go around the outside into turn 2. Marnix has broke a bit too late there. He's gone well off track. I don't know where he's going to fiddle back in. Smalley almost lost control of the car though. Macho's going to go up the inside of Smalley there into turn 3. This has played into Jensen's hands. That brilliant restart pretty much pulled him away from all this. Marnix is having a few issues though, possibly on his tyres not being hot enough on the restart. Chris is just sitting in behind these guys still, 2 tenths behind Zero, 10th behind Zero. He's more or less, he's pretty much wanting to make a move. He just can't through that sector. David Enshu did though. He made a move going into second last corner, and him and Nick have had contact. Both of them have gone round. Moves Matman up to 8th there, Chubby Slug. He's in 8th place. He's got Mr. Rage coming off his inside. These guys are on the soft still. Matman and Mr. Rage have both gone round there with a bit of contact. I'll leave it up to them guys. Zero's gone past Marnix. Marnix has gone back past Zero. They're side by side. We will go back to the front for the last 2 laps. Smalley's got past Marnix. Is squeezing Zero pretty far, but Zero shot up the inside there. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. That is one of the. That's Nick. Nick's going round. So a couple of cars are finding a bit of contact here coming into these last 3 laps. We've only got one more after this. Jensen's pretty much pulled away. I don't think he's going to have an issue. He's got 2.5 second lead. Macho should be alright, but he might get past Smalley into this last bit. I think Marnix is all over the back of Zero as well. Zero's done very well to move up to where he's actually where he is. In fact, I can't even find that on here at this time. We are on the last lap. Position change. Yeah, Zero's up 4. He's done very well to find 4 places in 12 laps here. Marnix and Zero side by side, and Chris has gone through actually. I think Zero outbroke quite badly there, and Chris is going to have to go around the long way on Marnix. They touch wheels. Zero can't really do much as well. Macho is in 3rd now. He's sticking with Smalley, but I don't think he's going to get past half a tenth coming into that last sector. Isn't going to be easy. There's another car making a move there. That MedTC is going to try and go around the outside to inside of Zero there. That was a brilliant move from him. Chris has done very well to get up to 4th. His penalty is going to hinder him pretty bad though. It's not. Should be alright though going into it. He's not going to lose too many places here. A few cars have gone and smashed. They have finished. Jensen wins here. Smalley's 2nd. Macho will take 3rd. Marnix is 4th in the end. He didn't have a great time after that restart. His tyres were a bit, they just looked like he wasn't getting the grip. MedTC's done very well. I think he was down in 11th before the restart with 3 laps left. He put the softs on and he managed to get back up to 4th. So very well done to him as well. David Entry driver of the day for that. I don't think they give a point for the sprint though. Lot happening in those last 3 laps though. Ignore the points there. Jensen wins. Smalley 2nd. Macho will take 3rd. Marnix 4th. MedTC 5th. MedTC finished 5th in the end from 11th. 6 places in 3 laps was very, very good from him. Zero is 6th. Chris Allen finished 7th in the end with that time penalty. It's not too bad. I mean, he lost a couple of places. It won't hinder him too much for the next race. Chris Stapson 8th. That's a good placement from him. David Enchu 9th. Mr. Rage will be 10th. That's the last points. Chubby Slug 11th. Nick 12th. Matteo, I believe, DNF. So did Charlie. And so did Pelly. I think there was only 3 unless... Yeah, I think there was only 3. Are we going to see some rain though? It's very mucky. There won't be a formation lap, so we will go on to it. Hopefully, I mean, MedCC, he got spun round at turn 2, or he had an issue and spun himself around. I'm not really too sure, but he did very, very well to get back. So it can be done. I know the safety car probably helped anyway, but if we can have another pretty fast-paced race like that again, it would be good. Marnix needs to try and get another good start here. He was definitely sitting behind Jensen. It looked like he had the pace to possibly overtake him before that safety car come out, but Jensen's restart was pretty decent. I mean, he made up a second before he crossed the line, so I think he just warmed his tyres up very well, and Marnix just struggled slightly. We will be going very soon, though. I would think most people would go a medium to hard here. You might get someone going medium soft, so I mean medium soft, so I don't know. If there's a couple of safety cars, you might see the soft tyre as well. Right, 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Long lights, and we're away. And I think Jensen didn't get as good a start as last time. I think Smalley might not. No, he won't just be able to into turn 1. Macho clipped the side of him as well. I don't know if David Enchu had a problem. There's a lot of cars. They all got around turn 1 all right though. Macho and Zero side by side already. See everyone coming around turn 2 there. 1 car off track, which isn't too bad. Macho had a good, I think he had a good bad start there actually, because Marnix has gone in front of him. He had to sit in behind. Chris maybe had a little bit bad start there because he's moved. No, he stayed where he was. MedTC's lost a place. You can see David Enchu's trying to go up the inside of Chris there as well. Not going to make it easy going into these couple of corners. He's had to get on that curb as well for that left-hander. It's pretty brave there from David Enchu, but he managed to hold onto it as well. So Jensen's already pulled that gap of a second. Chris has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He didn't even finish a lap. Oh no. So Chris's penalties are starting already. Hopefully he won't get too many in this race. Hopefully that's 3 seconds and that'll still be 3 at the end. MedTC and Zero going side by side back into turn 2 here as well. In fact, I will go to tyres because I've just seen that one of these guys is on the hard. Zero started on the hard tyre. Chris Allen's on a soft compound. In fact, he tried to get past both cars there. I think he just got slightly run out of room. Chris Allen's on a soft, and so is David Enchu. They've both started on the soft compound. Charlie and Zero are the only ones on hard. In fact, Zero's lost a few positions, but I don't think he'll be too worried seeing as he's on that tyre and they were on softs. Someone's going around. That's Chris is going around. I don't know if there was contact, but his tyres, he's on the soft tyre. I mean, hopefully he hasn't got any damage and he can carry on going. Let's get some of this up. Jensen fastest. Smalley's actually on the fastest lap, even though he's getting back a 10th there. 107.0 at the moment. He's got hardly any energy though. He's trying to get within that second and trying to get Marnix out of the second before the DRS. It's not going to happen this lap, but Smalley's on 20%, and that's not great. Matteo and Kristaps maybe had an issue at turn 1. They've gone around. Rage and Nick. Nick had to go around the outside of Rage there, but Rage has got so much more straight line speed. He's going to fly up the inside of him going into turn 3 here. Matteo and Kristaps still battling at the back there into turn 2. Marnix is out of that second. In fact, he's just come back into it, so that'll be good for him. These guys on mediums at the moment, they're holding out David Enchu. I think he's gained a few places actually here. No, he hasn't. He's gained 3 already. Zero's starting on the hards. In fact, he's only lost out on 1 place, which isn't too bad. Chubby Slug's right behind him. Chris has got his another 3-second time penalty. 106.7 there from Jensen on the medium compound. He's pulled that gap. He just found. Oh, Matteo is boxing. Jensen found half a second there. In fact, he's found another 4/10 on Smalley there. I don't know if Smalley's struggling slightly because Marnix has closed up within half a second as well. He just lost half a second on both front and back markers there. Macho almost made a move there as well. MedTC's doing pretty well. He's sticking with these guys. David Enchu's still doing well and he's soft. In fact, he's found he's on the back of these guys within DRS now. Zero's lost out to Chubby Slug there. He had the DRS. He is on that hard compound though, so he's going to go a lot further than some of these guys on the medium. He's only lost a couple of places. He is within DRS though, so he will keep that. Macho is all over the back of Marnix. I think the problem is, because Marnix has DRS, he's not going to get past him as quickly as he wants. They're both on 40-odd% as well. Smalley's struggling on 30. Jensen's on 20%, but he has pulled out a 2.2 second gap, so he can probably farm back some of that energy now. Marnix can't get past Smalley. Chris has had an issue into the last corner. He's going round. Rage got past Chubby Slug there, so I was going to say Zero's basically just done both Chubby Slug and Mr. Rage. I think Mr. Rage might have outbroke himself slightly. Oh, and Pelly almost clipped the back of Chubby there as well, breaking into the bottom of that hill. It would be a brilliant battle for these, especially with Zero now out in front. He's on that hard, but all these guys behind on the medium. Oh, someone's going around there. Pelly's going around. Hopefully he can keep it out the wall. He has. And I don't think... No, he came back on track and he clipped the curb and he's going around. There's the yellow flag for him, but I think that's going to disappear, so we will carry on racing. Marnix did get done by Macho there. Macho's now up into 3rd. He'll try and get past Smalley as quickly as he can. Smalley looks like he's got a lot of straight line speed here. MedTC's part. Marnix has had an issue. Marnix turned 1 there. Had an issue. He's going around, so he's lost out 9, 10 places there. You get Zero and Mr. Rage going side by side. This time Chubby Slug will probably get a decent drag. No, he won't. He's going to sit behind these guys. Mr. Rage has a bit more straight line speed. He's got DRS, that's why, and Zero didn't. But Zero's doing a very good job on his hards to keep pace with some of these guys. David Enchu finds himself in a bit of a gap. Smalley's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. That's his first. And is that rain? No way. Did I just see rain? Yes, that's rain. That might be why a couple of these started on softs. I mean, David Enchu is in a good place here. He's on that soft compound. It has just started raining. Earlier than maybe some of these medium runners would have thought. Jensen's in a good place anyway because he's got that gap, but if DRS goes, some of these guys are going to be in a bit of trouble. Who's going around there? Is that Chris? As long as he doesn't... Yeah, Chris is going around. DRS is disabled. Straight away, DRS is disabled. So that's how quickly it's raining. Pelly is the... No, he's not the first person in the pit. Someone's dived in front of him. Is that Marnix? No. Matteo is stuck. I think he was beached actually on the curb. So he's going to get going as well. Chris has dived into the pit. The first person in the pit was Pelly. He's come out on the intermediates. We'll see if he can make any gains on some of these. He was quite far back. I would think everyone is going to box for at least inters. Depending on how quickly this comes out, it might even go to full wets as well. Smalley's moved over early, which is nice to see. So is Macho. MedTC's done it. We will keep an eye on these pit lanes for these guys. David Enchu's done it. I know Mr. Rage does it. Chubby Slug's moved over pretty nicely. So's there. Everyone's boxing. So Charlie's done it. Nick's done it. Chris Dax is next. I'm sure he'll be fine. Pelly's already boxed. So, in fact, Pelly's going to overtake... Is that Matteo? Matteo's off track. Everyone's boxed. We'll see Jensen had about a 2.5, 2.2 second gap here. We'll see how his pits... Yeah, that will sort itself out. There's yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That is, who's around there? Is that Pelly? Pelly smashed his wing off. He's in a wall. He is on media. He's on inters as well. There is a Mateo's round as well. Mateo's in a wall. Chris Allen has binned it. Chris is in a wall. He is DNF'd through sector 2. And the safety car is coming out. Mateo just reset the track. I think he's lapped, but... The safety car. Chris has binned it. He's in a wall. Safety car comes out. Macho's got a time penalty, which I missed. Did he get that from the pits? Yeah, he did. Macho's got a 5-second time penalty from the pits there. I mean, if someone didn't box off their mediums here, they probably could have done a lap behind the safety car, or under this and thrown on wets, because it looks like it's definitely going to go to full wets if it keeps coming down like this. Pelly's reboxed. He had to. He had no wing. Mateo's boxed as well. I don't think he got lapped, actually. No, he didn't. Jensen will catch up to the safety car anyway. Someone else just dived in the pits. Smalley's just dived in the pits. That's interesting. Is he going to go for full wets here? He's missed out on Yeah, he is. Smalley's going to go on full wets. He will only lose out on another 3 places, I believe. I think he'll be in front of the Aston Martin. Yeah, he will, quite comfortably in front of Mr. Rage here when he comes around the corner. Make car changes in anticipation of the rain. It was a big mistake. Yeah. You have struggled turning. I mean, to get a couple of penalties within 4 laps. Funny thing is though, you also DNF'd once the rain came, so if your setup was made for it, then I can't help you there. Smalley has done the different than everyone else. He's gone under full wets. In fact, he's lost out on 6 places because of it. 25 laps, he might be able to get out of them if it keeps getting worse. The guys on inters, I mean, he'll fly past them in a couple of dog. Oh dear. Should have seen the rain and just thought, yep, let's finish 50-50 wings. Is Charlie going in the pit there? He looked like he went early. Yeah, Charlie's gone into the pit. It was decent from him to go early as well. He's going to put on full wets as well, I think. He should come back out in front of Chris Stapp, so he's only going to lose out in a couple of places as well. Chris Stapp is boxing as well, so I think some of these guys are going to put on the full wets. Yeah, they are. They might even be able to go to the end. If they can, Smalley's going to be in a great place. He's going to fly past some of these. Especially, we're not going to restart this lap. That's not Marnix, that's Matteo. Matteo is still in sector 2 with the safety car. So this is going to be out for the full 4 laps, I would think. Saying full wets, if you look over to the right there, it might even be drying up at some point. I wonder when their tyres are going to burn out as well. Kristaps will probably catch up by next lap. I would think Pelly will as well, but Matteo's round again. I know he reset, but morning. I did. Thanks, mate, Mike. I woke up a bit earlier today. So Matteo, anyway, I don't think he's going to be able to catch back up. 3-second time penalty for him as well. He's not having the best of races here in the rain. I think we've got another lap of the safety car. We might even have one more. Let's help Pelly catch back up anyway. He didn't want to go for the wets. He's staying on the inters for now. He might even flick in the pits this lap. Unless it will dry up slightly and he will... stay on inters. Well, some of these guys stayed on inters. We'll see how small he gets on the restart. It probably will be after this lap. We're almost a third of the way through this as well, so it got very wet very quickly though. It definitely took some people by surprise. Jensen's trying to waste as much fuel as possible. Probably sitting there with about five laps over now. Some of these might have underfueled anyway. Everyone down to theirs on red, so... I think we'll be going in this lap. Yeah, it's in this lap. See if Jensen can get another restart like he did last time. I don't think Macho will allow him a second gap before the line. I can't see him allowing that at all. I know he's got a penalty. I think that was from the pit, wasn't it? Yeah, 5 seconds. MedTC's doing a very good job. He's moved up to third now, so sticking with Jensen. He's going to try and finish in front of him. Take that first position back in the title here. Or stick close enough to him so he can get a few decent points. Jensen has gone. He's not found a second, but I think he's found about 7.5 tenths by the line here. Macho almost, well actually it looked like he had a big wobble, but I think Jensen might have as well. MedTC's lost out on set. David Enchu's had a very bad start. He's already lost that second. Without DRS though, I don't think it makes too much difference. Jensen's coming under real pressure from Macho here though. His yellow flag sector 3, that was Matteo. Jensen and Macho here pretty much going side by side through turn 2, but Macho just sat in behind. They both on exactly the same energy, so they've almost pulled a good gap back to... David Enchu's caught back up to MedTC slightly here as well, which is decent. Some of these guys might be struggling slightly in the rain. I know Madman's doing pretty well actually. He's finds himself in 5th place here. He's within a second of David Enchu, so he's going to be towed along quite nicely. Zero is just sitting in behind. Kristaps has gone round. He's had an issue, and so's a Haas. One of the Haas is that Madman. Madman, I'm just praising you, man, and now you've lost out on 5-6 places there. He's going to come under fire by Charlie as well. Charlie's just had to kind of sit in behind him. We'll go back to the front though. They've made a big push on at the front here. Macho's doing very well to keep with Jensen though. Not using his energy, they're both on pretty much the same. MedTC finds himself on less, but he's coming under fire from David Enchu. David Enchu in the wet is pretty decent as well. I think one of his podiums this season came in the wet race. Smalley on his wets isn't losing massive amounts of time here. I mean, he got past Mr. Rage. I think he was an 8th, so he's past the 2 Aston Martins there. 1.4 behind Zero at the moment. There's a yellow flag. That is Matteo again. He's in a wall. He is really not enjoying this rain. Has no wing as well, which isn't going to help him. Oh, someone had this. Someone might have had an issue there. MedTC lost a hell of a lot of time. No, he didn't. David Enchu did. David Enchu lost a lot of time there. I think someone might have... There's a yellow flag in sector 1, 2, 3. That is not a safety car. Was that caused by Matteo going into the wall though? It won't be a safety car, but there is a virtual. We all go. Kristaps is having issues. I don't know if he's got a wing though. Right, we all go. Green flag's gone. So Macho's still within this 5/10 gap of Jensen just sitting in behind him. MedTC's doing pretty decent. He's got David Enchu behind him, but they've got a nice gap back to Zero. I think Zero might have been the one who had that issue just before the safety, the virtual there. He lost a couple of seconds. Smalley on his wets isn't making moves on these. In fact, in that last lap he lost. He's lost 5/10. So Mr. Rage is keeping with him. I mean, some of these guys in front will have to box, but I think Jensen's a good 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. There's another yellow flag in sector 1, 2, and 3. What is that this time? Is that Kristaps that's going round? He looks like he's got a wing load. Charlie's pit. I don't think he liked those full wets. A few people having a few issues here. Mateo, they have to wait behind him even though he's lapped. Who is that? Is that Mr. Rage? That would help Smalley. Yeah, it is Mr. Rage. So he's going to lose a bit of gap to... Mr. Rage can't pass Smalley, that's the problem. Where's Nick? Oh, we are go. One of the Aston Martins got past. I think the other one got stuck behind. Oh no, he was ghosted. David Enchu and MedTC. MedTC's got past David Enchu, repassed him. David Enchu must have got past him going down that straight. We'll keep an eye on these. Chubby Slug's going round. He's now got no wing. Smalley as well. He's lost the place to Mr. Rage. I don't know if this wet tyre's fully working yet, but they've lost a lot of time behind Zero here. Zero finds himself in a big gap on his own. I think he'll be pretty happy though. He's still in that top 5, so Pelly and Nick's going in the pit. He's going to come off his inters. Smalley's coming off. I don't know what he's doing. He might go back onto inters. Smalley's DNF'd in the pits when he was in 8th. Strange. We'll see what tyre Nick puts on. Nick's going to put on another inter, so he 20 laps. Maybe probably go to the end now. Chubby Slug's DNF'd. Is that in the pit? I think, did he just fall in? Yeah, I think that's in the pit. Kristaps is round again. Yep, he's not enjoying the wet, but he will actually find himself in 10th when he catches up. Nick on that fresh inter, he's going to find himself behind Charlie. They're 23 seconds behind Pelly in 7th. Pelly's having another good race. He's 3.5 seconds behind Mr. Rage, but yeah, he finds himself in a pretty decent place there. Kristaps has now moved up to 10th. David Enchu is sticking with MedTC here. There's another yellow flag. Is that not Mateo? Was that possibly Charlie? Someone had an issue there. Kristaps is going to box onto a fresh inter. He's going to stay in 10th, which is pretty decent still in the top 10. Macho is half a second behind Jensen. He has pretty much been most of this 17 laps, to be fair. These two have pulled now a 3-second gap almost to MedTC. There's a yellow flag. Charlie's out. And that is a safety car. Yellow dot coming out the pits. There's a safety car. Charlie has lost control from 9th. That moves Kristaps up to 9th. That's not bad anyway. Mateo has been lapped, so he will not be able to catch back up unless some of these box. I mean, Jensen in the Haas is still in sector 2, just about to start sector 3. Mateo might be able to fly past the pit this lap and unlap himself. Jensen may box for inters here. A few might, or Jensen may stay out. He's stayed left. Everyone else is staying out as well. I don't know if Zero slowed down slightly. Rage isn't. He's staying out as well. Pelly's gone to box, I think. He's going to get off of his 9-lap-old inters. He's only going to lose out on... in fact, Pelly ain't even going to lose out on a place here. Matteo will be lapped. He'll find himself... Okay, so Kristaps got lapped as... No, he didn't. I'll work it out soon when they all get behind that safety car. Mr. Rage is catching up to it. Pelly is in... He's actually behind Kristaps and Matteo. Kristaps finds himself behind Matteo, but he's in front of him on track. So Matteo must be 2 laps down here. In fact, can I see this somehow? I'm not sure. Unless Kristaps isn't... No, Kristaps hasn't been lapped. Even though he's in front of Nick. Yeah, this is confusing. I'll work it out soon. I know Jensen's first. Macho second. Medson third behind the safety car. David Enchu's fourth behind. Zero is fifth. Mr. Rage is next in the queue. Oh dear. Kristaps, unfortunately here, I think he's lost out on a hell of a lot of time. He was sitting, because he's been lapped, it's allowed Nick to catch up behind him. Well, Nick's the car in front of him, so he's literally going to be a lap behind the car in front. Matteo, I believe, to be 2 laps down, which is why Kristaps is behind him in this grid, but still in front of him on track. Pelly's going to have the issue of having... Yes, Pelly will have the issue of having Kristaps and Matteo in front of him. Nick's caught right back up, so Nick will potentially be at the back of this safety car restart, but he's in 8th. Nick's the last car to catch up as well. He's having a bit of issue in the rain. Might come in this lap. I know Nick's slightly... No, it won't next lap. Well, one more lap. So Pelly on the fresh inters, probably going to the end. Unless it keeps raining this hard, then we might see some people go onto those wets. The couple that did... In fact, the 2 people that did go onto that wet tyre, they both DNF'd. Someone's just pit. So it's Zero. So Zero was 5th or... Yeah, I think he was 5th, so he's boxed. And so someone else as well. Kristaps is boxed. He's put the wet on, and so is Kristaps. So those 2 have decided to put their wet tyre on now. They think it's now time to put the wet tyre on. 17 laps left. Safety car will be in this lap as well, I would think. Have they done the good thing here? Someone's off track. Mr. Rage is off track. Slightly. He was on the gravel. Before turn 2, that's on a straight, that's slightly weird. Nick's. Pelly. Okay, I'm just going to ignore this now. Let's see, Jensen's... That's 2, 3, that's fine. 4. Pelly's now 5th in the queue, which is good. Nick is 6th in the queue, but he's now behind Matteo, who needs to catch up to the rest of the guys, really. Nick, Mr. Rage is now in 7th after going off track. He finds himself in 7th. Zero's caught up. He's on the wet compound. Kristaps is a lap down on the wet compound, but he's now at the back. Matteo is the only one here. We'll see when Jensen goes. He went pretty early last time. He hasn't gone as early this time. He went now though, there's a Ferrari that's massively right. I think that's Matteo just trying to get out the... Hasn't made it very easy for the other guys because boxing before the line you won't ghost. Anyway, Jensen gets us off and going again. Two people have just gone round. Nick and Pelly have both gone round into the last corner. We haven't even started the lap. Anyway, they've gone round. Zero's moved up to 6th on that wet. In fact, Zero is flying. He's just he's going to fly past Mr. Rage there. Up into 5th place on that wet compound. He's now found himself with... Oh! Jensen outbroke himself slightly. He got a bit of a tap from Macho. MedTC come up the inside and gave him a bit of a tap as well. Mateo's left the session, but his car's still in it. Going back to the front though, MedTC had caught right up there. He's lost a bit of time. I think he just had a slight contact with Macho. David Enchu finds himself up in 4th. Zero's 2.2 behind. We'll keep an eye on that time as it gets wetter. David Enchu is hounding MedTC here though at the moment. Definitely wet, and in fact David Enchu lets his teammate pass because Zero is flying on those wets. Has he made a massively brilliant move here to go onto those wets early under the safety car? I mean, he's already gained a place within a lap and 2 laps of coming back in. You see MedTC struggling there. He's going to get done down to turn 1. See the pace difference coming out of that corner from Zero is massive. That wet is definitely the tyre to be on now, I think. 2 cars are struggling at the end of the lap. They're trying to box. Mateo's gone in the box and Nick's boxed, and so's Pelly, which means Kristaps, he's not going to... he can't unlap himself. That's the problem with getting stuck behind and not being able to overtake. He's literally sitting with these guys. He might even have more pace than some of these. Zero's flying though on these wets. He's caught that gap up to Macho and Jensen. I would think within the next lap he might even be past both of these guys. MedTC's really struggling now as well. And who's that? Is that running out? No, that's what I mean. Kristaps in the McLaren there. He's just flying past these guys on the inters. And he's a lap down. Maybe he can unlap himself here, or at least... Macho's just gone very wide there, went off track. I don't think he could slow down in time. We'll keep an eye on where Kristaps' car is though. I think he's just in front of his teammate. Jensen and Zero didn't box again. Zero won't box, he's on wets. Jensen didn't box off his inters. Maybe he thinks he can do a couple more laps here like this. There's a Kristaps just gone slightly wide, or did he have an issue? I think he might have had an issue. Mr. Rage, 3-second time penalty. He's got a massive gap behind him though, and Zero takes the lead of this race. Those full wets are definitely the right tyre to be on. He has caught up a lot. David Enchu goes massively off track there. He's going to come back on and just stay in front of MedTC. I think Med had to let off slightly there. Oh yeah, he's going to let him back past. That was very nice. David Enchu did probably the right thing there. Jensen's already a second down on Macho, so it's probably... Oh no, Zero here. So unless they think it's going to kind of dry up slightly, or... I'm surprised why they haven't gone on to the wets though. They know more than I do though. Jensen stays out, so does Macho. MedTC's staying out as well. David Enchu's doing the same. Rage is going to box. Rage has had enough of his inters. He's got a massive gap behind him, so he ain't going to lose out on a position anyway. Pelly's on wets. Nick is still on inters as well. He's just got past and you can see Kristaps is sitting with Jensen here on those wets. It's a shame he did get overtaken. Jensen couldn't stop into turn 1. He went massively off track. Turn 2 even. So Macho's into second. Jensen's going to fiddle in behind. He's lost the traction. His car's all over the place. Kristaps is hopefully not going to get in the way of his teammate with his Ghost, but you can see the difference of braking going. They've now lost 3 seconds this lap. to Zero, who probably is going to go to the end. He's got 12 laps to do. I can't see his tyres being burnt out after 16, seeing as the Inters are doing 16 easily now as well. Mr. Rage is caught 10 seconds on David Enchu. Macho stayed out, so's Jensen, they're staying out. So's Med TC and so's David Enchu. They just want to stay on their Inters. They're having a good time. See if Mr. Rage can make any moves here. He's 25 seconds behind David Enchu. If they need to box though, he will lose a place here. We'll get off leader, we'll go to interval. It's probably a lot easier for me to work things out. Yeah, he's 40, Mr. Rage is only 14 seconds behind David Enchu here, so. Yellow flag sector 1, is that Nick? No, it's not Nick. Is that Mr. Rage? Mr. Rage is in the grass. Pelly is caught right back up. In fact, Pelly, he was on wets as well, so he's lost that massive gap from behind. Pelly's going to be steaming up behind him as well. He's taking a little bit of time out on that straight as well. It's down to 2 seconds. Jensen finds himself a second and a half behind Macho now. He's just starting to struggle a bit. You can see him wobbling through the corners there in sector 3, half sector 2 and 3. Macho stayed out again, so's Jensen. MedTC stayed out. These guys are just going to run it to the end probably. Don't know if Pelly will catch up here. He's 21 seconds behind. I think Mr. Rage might have with 14. But Pelly 21 seconds. I mean, it is coming down. You can see it's coming down, but I don't know by how much and how quickly it will. But Zero is just running away with it. He's 10 seconds in the lead now. MedTC has been done by David Enchu there. I think he lost traction coming out turn 1 maybe. Pelly has caught a second up through 2 corners though, so might have 10 seconds. I mean, if he can find a couple of seconds a lap, he'll be right on these guys. He's just found another half. He's just found another second, and he's on a straight bit of road. Or he found 9/10 at least. He just found a second out of turn 2. So yeah, Pelly's going to catch up to these guys unless they box. Thing is, they're all within his window now, I think, as well. 24 seconds leads to Jensen, so I can't see it drying up at all either. But they are all staying out. I mean, Pelly will be the only one who probably can catch up here, and he's doing a pretty good job of it. He's now just taken 6 seconds. Is that 6 seconds? No, it wasn't 30. It was 21. He's taken 6 seconds out of the top 5. The 4 of the top 5 in the last lap. That time is burning down. He might have a very good placement here. I mean, Macho's got that 5-second penalty. Jensen is struggling bad. He's lost a lot of time. No, it wasn't David Enchu who went round. Is that Nick or Mr. Rage? Nick, I think, just had an issue there. He's on wet tyres, but he's struggling. Pelly's taken 7 seconds out of these guys now, and he's only just through a lap in the sector. Zero's just smashed this. Boxing early under that safety car to lose 3-4 places, and he's 15 seconds in the lead, and he's got 9 laps to do. He's loving it, absolutely loving it. You can hear the difference though in throttle. You can see it. David Enchu just did not want to put anything down through that corner. Pelly's found another second on these guys as well. He's now down to 10 seconds behind Med. No one wants to box. 8 laps to go. He's good. Pelly might be able to find a play. He might be able to sit himself in 3rd place here if he keeps pushing the time he is compared to the guys in front. They can't box now because they'll be behind him as well. So they've done 20 laps on these Inters as well. They got to do another 6. I think I can see Pelly get the podium here. He just needs to keep his head down, not get any penalties, and just keep driving the way he is. MedTC's not exactly dropping off of David Enchu's time here. He did just lose a couple of tenths, but Pelly's chewing seconds out of him like it's nothing. .8 now. He's found 15 seconds. Macho, do you have a time penalty of 5 seconds, doesn't he? So, I mean, these guys can stay out. They've only got 7 laps after this one. Pelly's just taken another 2 seconds out of Med. David Enchu's doing all right, actually. He's not falling away too far from Jensen, but Jensen is falling away from Macho. Macho's doing a great job to push on this Inter tyre at the moment. Found 7 seconds. Pelly's within 3.5 of Med now. He was 21 seconds behind. It's a great little charge from him, actually. Mr. Rage didn't. I think he had an issue. He went onto the grass, but he's not having as much luck as Pelly is on this tyre. He really is chewing seconds out of these guys in front. MedTC can't get his foot down. You see half throttle there. He's still not at full throttle. He is now, and you're halfway down the straight almost. David Enchu's pulled some time out on Med though. That'll help. Med will probably let his teammate pass as soon as Pelly gets close enough to down the straight. He's already within a second. He's got to find another 5. I mean, he's been taking 2, 3 out of these guys every lap. Med's done probably a good thing there and let Pelly pass. He's going to allow his teammate to try and push on for a podium here. He's got to find 4.5 seconds to David Enchu. Then only 2 more to Jensen there. So it's doable. Within 6 laps as well, these guys are obviously staying out on their Inters. They're going to burn them. They're on 22 laps now. Pelly found another second through that last sector on David Enchu. He's having a brilliant race. Only 4 behind now. Didn't have the best of sprints, but he's definitely making up for it in this race. The yellow flag, that's even Nick or Mr. Rage, that's Nick's that's going round. Sitting there in 8th at the moment with no penalties though. He's not doing too bad. Top 8, no penalties. It's decent. MedTC is boxed. He's gone on the wets. He does not want to be on that compound anymore. He did not want to be on the Inters. He probably would have been overtaken by Mr. Rage as well at some point. Pelly's found a 2.5 seconds on David Enchu in 2 sectors. David Enchu is catching up with Jensen. Jensen's lost a lot of time there to David Enchu. David Enchu's back within 1.2 seconds. 4 laps left after, well, 5 after this one. Pelly will be in within a second of these guys before the end of this lap. He will find himself probably in 3rd place within the next couple. I think Macho might just be a bit too far of a stretch for him. He's 9.5, but he's got to get past 2 people as well. Macho does have that 5-second penalty, so technically, if Pelly can get past these couple of guys and make up 4 seconds, then he finds himself in 2nd. And I think he's going to get past David Enchu right now. Look at the drag coming out of there from Pelly compared to David Enchu. He just flew out of it. His traction's unbelievable. David Enchu, Jensen went slightly wide there as well. Pelly gets better traction than Jensen. Jensen's going to try and block him off. He leaves him just enough room. There's a bit of grass there, tapping wheels. I think that was okay. Pelly, he's gone up the inside of Jensen. It's a late move, but he managed to brake and hold it in time, and he left enough room on the outside for him as well. There's absolutely nothing Jensen and David Enchu could do there. They stopped Pelly. They slowed him down for a little bit. He's got 5.5 seconds. Oh, he needs to find 3.5, I think. Nick's gone off track there. Allows Kristaps up to 8th. Kristaps having a great race, especially after he was a lap down. He flicked those wets on. He's unlapped himself. Yeah, he has unlapped himself by, actually, is that Zero into, no, he hasn't unlapped himself because Zero flicked on that tire. Zero is 30 seconds almost in front of Macho. These guys who stayed on the Inters are finding themselves with a few issues here. Well, they've only been caught up by Pelly, but it's been a pretty decent effort from him. David Enchu's flying behind Jensen as well. He's now caught up. MedTC's, he's not too far behind Jensen compared to the point. Oh, he's just going around and he's ripped his wheel off. MedTC's wheels come off. I don't know if that's going to be a safety car because no one's near him. That is a safety car. That's a safety car, so that's going to... Some of these on Inter's going to box. I mean, Pelly will definitely be in second place here, but he's going to be on 10 lap older. The spread of this is massive as well. Spread to this safety car is huge. Is that Mr. Rage? Mr. Rage will actually be the last person behind the safety car, but he will be in 6th place. MedTC is out. He is not going to get great points now compared to Jensen. Some of these guys might box though, who are on the Inters, I feel. Macho was close there for his wheel. I'll keep an eye on these guys. I think Jensen might not stay out. No, he's going to go in as well. And so is David Enchu. These guys wouldn't have been caught by Mr. Rage. It was a good 30 odd seconds behind, but with the safety car, Pelly's reboxed. He was in 3rd. It's probably not a great idea. I don't know. We'll find out. I think he's just been done by Macho as well. Yeah, he comes out in 4th behind Macho, so he's lost a place there. Mr. Rage might even get past it. He stayed out. I think I would have stayed out as well, you know, because he would have found himself in 2nd. Zero's been absolutely flying, so he wouldn't have had to worry about that. In fact, Pelly has come out in 4th place behind Mr. Rage. Mr. Rage has decided to stay out, and it worked out pretty well for him. He does have a penalty, though. He's he's got a 9-second penalty. That's probably why he stayed out. Nick can't catch up. Nick's been lapped. Nick will not be able to catch up, which means Kristaps is going to be behind him as well. Matteo's still going through the last sector. I don't know how many laps these guys are down, but I think Nick and Kristaps is only one. Jensen's flipped on an Inter again, and so's David Enchu actually. They've both flipped on Inters rather than full wet. I don't know if that might be the right thing. I mean, it looks less raining. I am a bit surprised by Pelly though. I mean, he could have stayed out. He would have had 2 laps to defend. Zero would have gone. No one was catching Zero anyway, I don't think. Even though Zero stayed out in his wet tyre as well, it brings Macho into this race, back into this race. David Enchu being on the Inters. Socha Nick has in fact put the Inters on, and Kristaps also has Inters on here. And I think Pelly's now found himself behind Kristaps. Yeah, he's found himself behind Kristaps. So he's got a car in between him and Mr. Rage, which isn't going to be good for him. It really isn't. The fact that if this Inter tyre is actually better on these last 2 laps, then he was struggling to catch up. Is that Kristaps holding it? No, it's not. Did Macho just go around? No, something's going on here. I think it's Matteo. Yeah, Matteo. Oh, it's because he's not there. I don't think he's there. There's yellow flag. Oh, the safety car's gone in. So Pelly should have stayed out. He would have found himself in 2nd. Instead, Zero finds himself 22 seconds in the lead. Pelly's now been done by David Enchu. That intermediate tyre definitely worked out, I think, towards the end now. Some of these guys couldn't even catch up. I knew he should have stayed out, though. I mean, he would have caught up with Zero. He would have had a chance for a win here. He now finds himself down in 5th, which isn't great. He's lost out to Mr. Rage's 9-second time penalty. At the moment, David Enchu's going to take 3rd place. There's only a lap left after this as well. I do feel sorry for him because he was on for a good podium here. He could have had 2nd. I knew the field spread was massive and I didn't think it would stay out for very long. Who's actually behind? That's going to be Nick, isn't it? Yeah, Nick's just sitting behind Zero here. Pelly's gone back. Pelly's off track. He outbroke himself going into that right-hander. He's found himself off-road. Jensen, I don't think will be able to overtake him anyway. Pelly will now find himself down in fifth, probably fourth. David Enchu won't be too annoyed anyway. He's going to find third here if he can keep it into the last lap. Zero had already started his, like I said. He's 14 seconds up the road. I mean, Macho is catching him violently because of the tyre difference, but it wouldn't have mattered. Like Rage, he's third. Rage is sitting third. He was seventh before that safety car come out. He is going to lose 2 places. But if he didn't have his time penalty, he would have gained them awards. Yeah, Mr. Rage did a very good thing there. Zero did the same. They stayed out. I mean, Macho boxed, but he found himself in second anyway. I don't think anything else can really change. No one else is even close enough. So we'll just stick with Zero as he goes around the last 2 corners. Nick's going to give him a bit of a drag, but he's not close enough. Decent from Nick though. He still finished 7th a lap down. So does Nick want another lap? I think Nick's going for another lap. Yeah, he is. He's made sure he's going for another lap. But Zero wins this very, very comfortably by about 11 seconds in the end. Macho takes second. Mr. Rage will take third, but he's going to lose third and probably fourth. David Enchu then takes third place here. Good recovery from him from where he was in the end. Pelly takes fourth. Not the worst. He could have had a second there, but he decided to box and he found himself just in the wrong place. Mr. Rage will take fifth. Jensen's sixth in the end. Low spot from Jensen. I think that's his worst placement this season. Nick will find himself in seventh. He's the last one to do a lap here. Kristaps is in eighth, and Matteo is ninth. I don't think Matteo might be there. I'm not sure. I can't actually see when it's in another car, but he does look ghosted. So we're just waiting for Nick to finish, aren't we? So it's pretty much about surviving here. You can see 6 cars DNF'd. A couple of safety cars, but big gaps in the end. Driver of the day from the game was Pelly. Probably well deserved from the game as well. Almost probably took it from me until his pit stop. But it was a pretty good effort from him in the end to come back fourth. He's found some good points. We'll go to race results because that's not right. And now it won't let me go over anymore. I can't get over to race results, which is not going to be easy. So I'll just go back on the stream and have a look. Zero will be first, Macho second, David Enchu's third, Pelly will be fourth, Mr. Rage fifth, Jensen sixth, Nick is seventh, Kristaps is eighth, Matteo is ninth, MedTC DNF'd, so did Charlie, so did Chubby Slug, Smalley DNF'd, so did Chris, and so did Marnix. My game won't let me do anything. There we go. I had to press X. Yeah, Zero, Macho, David Enchu, Pelly, Mr. Rage, Jensen, Nick, Kristaps, and Matteo. I don't think he was there in the end. Pelly coming from 15th to take fourth was great. Just missed out in the end. I will send some invites. David Enchu, Macho, Zero. This is going to be an interesting grid because it's the first time I've spoken to a few without Jensen being there, which is decent. MedTC will have lost first place in the championship now, though. Let's see if I can even find some of these guys. Zero, Macho, and David Enchu. Zero Macho and David. It's the second time I've been very, very close to actually talking to Pelly on the comms box, but just missed out. My driver of the day, actually, I'll wait for him to come into chat if he comes in. I'll give these guys a couple of minutes. One or two may join. But a bit of a weird strategy in the end. Obviously, you saw Zero go onto that wet compound early under that safety car. He lost 3 places, gained up 5 within a lap, and then just completely smashed it. Guys on the Inter stayed out. They were being caught up by Pelly by 2 seconds a lap, who did very well. He should have stayed out with 4 laps left. He should have stayed out on his wets. He would have been in second with a massive gap. Back to 3rd place, which would have been Macho. Macho finished second in the end. It was a good race from him as well. David Enchu took 3rd. He decided to put the Inter on for the last stint. Sarah's just joined, that's fine. David Enchu decided to put that Inter on for the last stint, and he found himself moving up a couple of places to take 3rd, so decent from him in the end as well. Evening, Zero. How are you? Good. Sprint race, I kind of really forgot about the sprint race, but the feature race, I mean, you did the one thing no one else did, and you went onto the wet tyre under that safety car, which seemed to be a very, very good idea. You were finding a lot of time in the end, but before the safety car, how did you feel the race was going leading up to that? Because you all started on... Yeah, it's pretty much what you did. I mean, before the... I mean, you lost 3 places doing it to go onto the wet, but I mean, you found those 3-4 places back within half a lap. And as soon as you got past Jensen into the lead, I think it was only a couple of laps after that, really, and you were pulling away seconds over the laps. Obviously, when that late safety car came out, no one was really close enough to you. I think you were the only car behind the safety car close enough, because everyone else then boxed for their wets. But very, very good race from you, and congratulations on your win. It's all right, bud. David Denchu, you joined, didn't you?
Hello.
Hello. 3rd place in the end. I think probably happy with that. You made a very good decision right at the end to flick the Inter back on. I didn't know if it was going to work, but you definitely seemed to have a lot more pace than Pelly, who I think should have stayed out. He would have been behind Zero with the safety car, but he boxed onto a fresh set of wets, and it didn't really help him. Obviously, you finished 4th on the road, though, but you knew Rage had that penalty. Are you happy with a podium? You must be. After...
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, after making a qualifying very horrible to be honest. Yeah, and the sprint started last and contact with Nick, I think. Yeah, obviously I need to make a comeback. And yeah, I didn't expect anything. Obviously a podium is really good. And yeah, I mean, everybody could win because nobody knew the strategy, bid for full wets or staying with Inters. I was copying the front of the guys, Jensen, Macho, Med, but yeah, Sarah made the right decision there. So yeah, I feel happy with him and with me. I mean, a podium is really good for the team. Yeah, and good pace also.
Yeah, it was good towards the end, because you obviously flicked that in to run under that safety car. I think... Were you a bit worried before that last safety car come out? Because obviously Pelly was taking seconds out of you 3 guys very quickly. Did you think you were going to get a podium if that hadn't have come, that safety car?
Well, yeah, Pelly was closing a lot, but I was thinking if the track is gonna go for Inter the last laps, I was thinking every lap, I mean, with this corner gaining time, the another one too, was impossible. The safety car helped me a lot, to be honest. Um, yeah, but also he tried to overtake me and the lap cars fucked his race. I don't know who was the other McLaren, not Matthew.
Yeah, he
But
turned in. He was on the
yeah,
gravel. I think he just outbroke slightly and ended up in the gravel. And when you're that far behind
yeah,
in the rain, it's not easy to overtake there at the best of times. So, no, well done for
yeah,
keeping it on track and taking that third place in the end.
yeah. Also really happy with that. Yeah, but feel bad for Pelly. He could take a podium or a P2, I think,
Yeah, he could have had
because
P2 if he didn't box. He would have overtook Jensen and that. And Jensen didn't catch up to the safety car. Neither did you. So he would have been right behind Zero on that last lap with no worry about behind. I think second place was Macho in the end. He finished 15 seconds behind. He caught 6 seconds back up to Zero, but yeah, he definitely would have had a P2 here today. But both of you, congratulations on your podium. You can have a point each, to be honest, from comms for the
thank you.
decision that Zero made going onto that wet tyre, and just the sheer force that you kept your head down and then went on to an Inter to take a podium in the end was very good from you as well. So congratulations, both of you.
Thank you, and thank you for commentating, man.
That's all right, buddy. I think Chris will be here on Sunday. We're back Sunday for P0 after a 2-week break. We'll be back at Hungary, and I will see you next week here, same time at 8 o'clock.